Hi, welcome to Pilates with Sarah Perry at So Inspired Fitness. Let's get going. We're going to start with engaging the abdominals. So you're going to lie down on your back and bring your fingers on top of your sharp little hip bones. If you circle your fingers around, you'll find them protruding on beside your hip. Then walk a centimeter with your fingertips towards your belly button. With your fingertips, push down through the soft layer of body fat, down to the muscle. It might not feel too comfortable, but this is what we need to do to find those deep abdominal muscles that protect our back. Cough out loud so you can hear yourself and feel that big kick underneath your fingers. Now, on your next exhale, fire up those abdominals to the same amount as you felt when you coughed. There's that powerful lift underneath your fingertips. Breathe in through your nose and release that. On your next exhale, fire them up again, just to the halfway point. So 50% of a cough effort. And then inhale, release it down. And your next exhale, let's go to just a quarter of a cough effort. So 25% of your cough. And there you have one subtle hold of the abdominals. It's not hard work. You can still relax the shoulders. You can still think about the exercises and listen to what I'm saying. But it might not be usual to keep those muscles constantly engaged. A couple of other descriptions to help you will be to imagine that you've stuck your hand down your throat. It's a bit gory, I know, but this does work for most people. You've reached beneath your belly button. You've found your pelvic floor, which attaches to your coccyx and your pubic bone. It looks like a bit of a hammock that runs that way. And you're going to pinch it. And you're going to lift it upwards. So it starts to pull upward in a bit of a diamond shape towards your belly button. And that internal lifting helps a lot of people to feel the abdominals engaged. We don't squeeze our glutes. There's also the zipping up of skinny jeans, which you hear a lot in Pilates classes. And the one that I like the most is to imagine that you're pulling your hip bones in towards your belly button. You're closing them in. And that gives me that lovely, that wonderful vacuum packing feeling of control across the front of my abdominals and around the back. Okay, let's go for your placement. So we're going to just tilt the hips backwards and forwards. Your glutes are still soft. You haven't squeezed them up. Your arms are at rest beside you. You're sending your tailbone up to the ceiling and dropping it down to the ground. Become aware of the space beneath your lower back. You're pushing your lower back down to the ground softly and lifting it up and arching it up to the ceiling. So moving from one extreme to the next. Now start to slow down the movement. Start to make each time you tilt your pelvis and move your back up and down a bit smaller. And you go a bit smaller, and a little bit smaller with each rock, like a seesaw that's losing its momentum until there's actually nowhere to move. And right in this position, beneath your muscle and your bone, you should be able to slide your hand underneath your lower back. It'll be a bit snug, you have to squeeze your hand in there, but there's a definite gap and your hand can fit. Body fat can get in the way. If you have a bit of excess body fat in your back, you might feel it's a bit tight, but it's the bone and the muscle we're looking for, because that's what's really important here. And now imagine you've left a blueberry underneath your lower back. The blueberry behind your back is in line with your belly button, right underneath you. We don't want to squeeze onto that blueberry. We're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the lips. Soften your eyes and relax your shoulders. It's so easy to squeeze those shoulders up when you're trying to think. So shoulder people, this is going to be important for you to keep going shoulders off, relax the shoulders. So we're fully inflating our lungs. We're breathing in through the nose, trying to stretch the intercostal muscles between each and every rib into your back and to the side of the room. When you breathe out through a tightened lip. Your lips are tight so that they spread across your teeth slightly, and that you can hear yourself breathing out when you go with pressure, completely exhaling. So you're fully inflating your lungs down to those lower aspects of your lungs, down to the mat and to the sides of the room. And then exhaling completely through your lips with pressure until there's no more carbon dioxide left behind in your lungs. Now bring your hands on top of your belly button, on top of your tummy, and engage those abdominals. And just notice that while we're inhaling, we can maintain our engaged abdominals, because we're using our lungs fully. We're not breathing into our belly. The tummy muscles are not pushing upwards. They're staying flat and engaged. Your shoulders aren't tightening up. Your eyes aren't scrunching up. So take a few breaths here to get this right, because this is the basis of it all. This is the easy part. There's no hard work, but it is hard on the mind to keep all of these basic principles flowing while you do the exercises. So this might need a bit of practice to get good at this, and practice this while you're driving, because that's a good time to think about your breathing so you don't get so stressed. Alright, so let's start with one of the basic movements. Bring your hands behind your ears, behind your head. Let your head relax into your hands. The front of your neck muscles are relaxed. Your lower back is in neutral. Your elbows just drop to the side outside of your peripheral vision. Your feet and knees are hip width apart. On your exhale, lift your head up off the ground. Slide your ribs towards your pelvis. We're not bulging our abdominals up here. We're not pushing our lower back down to the ground. We're staying neutral in the lower back. On your next exhale, bring it down. And here we inhale to prepare, and we reset all those basic principles. Inhaling to the back of the lungs. Abdominals remaining engaged. While you flex up and over to look over your knees. Hold it up there for a breath in. And then breathe out, lower yourself down to the ground. Breathe in to prepare. Soften the shoulders, abdominals engaged, glutes are relaxed. Lower back stays neutral as you flex up and over. You can only go as high as your lower back allows you to stay neutral. And no matter how good you are, you should still feel these abdominals working, because the better you get at Pilates, the more you feel your abdominals and your muscles engaged, because you are more efficient and you are smarter. You know how to use your muscles properly. You're not just doing exercise for the sake of it. You're doing it well and preventing injury and imbalances. Okay, so there's your basic ab prep. Now, let's bring our hands down to the side. Now you are going to move your back out of its neutral. We're going to breathe out. We're going to squash our blueberry beneath our lower back into your imprint, keeping the shoulders soft. Let's bring the knees a little bit, your feet a little bit closer, bend the knees some more. Send your tailbone up to the ceiling. And while we breathe out, we're going to roll one vertebra up off the mat at a time until our knees are in line with our hips and shoulders on one beautiful straight line. Reach your knees away from you. Be aware of engaging abdominals and engaging glutes. And then on your next exhale, melt your spine down into the mat, one vertebra at a time. You're going to have to breathe out a bit hard between your lips as you pass through the lower back. So you definitely get that one bone landing down onto your mat at a time. And when the tailbone goes down, return you back to neutral. Inhale, reset all those principles. Exhale, and of course, our abdominals are always engaged. We're rolling up for the exhale. We never let go of our engaged abdominals. They're staying switched on the whole time while we're training. Straight hips, strong glutes, strong abs, soft shoulders, and exhale, melt the spine down into the mat. One bone at a time. And return your back to its neutral. So let's just do one more of those, because we're doing them so well, we're doing them so slowly. And down we go again. So here we felt our abdominals and our glutes working together. We don't want to feel it so much the front of our thighs, and that's why we have to use the front and the back as much as we can to be the strong muscles that work for us. Okay, now let's roll over on. Okay, so now we're going to work your upper back area. This one takes a lot of brains. So we want to have our abdominals engaged underneath us. They're lifting up. The blueberry is now underneath your belly button. And never once, the most important thing you can do here is not squash down onto your blueberry. Then, with your hands beside you and your elbows at your side, we're not going to push down hard into them, but they are there for a bit of support. The glutes are going to be very, very soft, so we're not going to squeeze them up at all. Lengthen your back of your neck. We're going to keep the neck long. We're not going to look up and see what's happening in front of us. On your exhale, we're going to lift the upper back up towards the ceiling without pushing your lower back down. I'm doing everything I can to not let go of my abdominals and not push my back down to the ground. We're going to inhale the top there and then exhale, lower yourself down onto the mat. Forward, rest down softly. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Next exhale, extend the upper back upwards, keeping your glutes soft. The legs don't twitch or work here. And then on the next exhale, lower yourself down. So you want to feel as if from about the middle of your back upwards, that you're sending those bones up to the ceiling while you keep the lower half of your back doing absolutely nothing. The abdominals are working as shock absorbers for the lower back so that they don't have to work at all. You don't have to move your bones of your lower back, but you do have to move the bones of your upper back. You're scooping your thoracic area of your upper back as high as you can, so you feel those muscles burning. They're certainly working. And if they do work, then you know you've got it right. And this is a particularly hard one to be mindful of because we don't get to think about our upper back much. Try and reach yourself long, stretching your top of your head away from your tailbone. We're always trying to elongate like an elastic band, growing long. Try and improve our posture. So these postural muscles are ever so important. And it's getting good at doing this exercise that helps your posture. So when you're not doing Pilates, you might even catch yourself slouching and be, oh my goodness, no, that's not right. And start to sit up taller and sit for longer without discomfort. Okay, now if that's quite easy, you've managed that, bring your hands into your thighs. Reach your fingers long as if you're reaching them towards your toes. Your thumbs are off the ground. Your shoulders are wide at the front, so collarbone is off the ground. And we're going to exhale and extend the upper back and reach your fingers to your toes. Hold it up there for a breath in and then lower that down. I certainly feel it's burning just above the bra strap area and between the shoulder blades, and you may even feel it down the sides. Let's do another 4 more of these and then we go into a harder level. 4. And keep those hands on your thighs. I notice that people tend to drop their hands down. There's so much to think about here. 3. 2. And 1. Very well done. All right, now to make it a bit harder, this is optional. You can go back to the first level or stick to the second level. It's most important that you do whichever level you've chosen, you do it well, rather than just going up a level because I'm doing it. So if you feel like you aced what we did before and your glutes are nice and soft and your abdominals are remaining engaged, then you are ready to do this next level up. So hands underneath your forehead and we're going to extend the upper back upwards. You're going to hold it up there while you inhale. Watch those abdominals. Don't let them let go and lower yourself down. Hold up there for your breath in. And lower back down. Honestly, this just feels so good. I can feel this is doing good things for my back. I can just tell I haven't done this enough lately. Too busy showing everyone else how to do it and not practicing it myself. And I know that when I get back pain between the shoulder blades, all I have to do is do this series now that we're doing, and it just instantly fixes all my imbalances and all my discomfort. So I really believe in this exercise, but it does take time. If you're new to Pilates and mindfulness and thinking about how to use your muscles when you choose to, this can be really tricky. And it took me into my advanced training to finally get this one right. From it Oh my goodness, I actually understand it now. So hopefully I've explained that clearly enough to you so you can feel the same benefits and reduce your back pain, keep your abdominals engaged, and that is some of the very basics to Pilates. So we will do some more complicated stuff later, but you tie those 3 exercises into your Pilates regime, and you'll become a whole lot smarter and be able to move on to the next level. Okay, thank you.